Back to No Drugs Anymore at AOL.com. We were talking about panic attacks, the origination of them being flashbacks to early life traumas that are unrecognized and terrifying. But there's a related condition, the rage attack, in which a person has the beginnings of a panic attack but goes after the person that triggered them as the root of the emotion that's being flashed back to them, and attacks the person that triggered the flashback. And that becomes an angry and destructive outburst, a rage attack, which for the person who's suffering with a problem deflects the energy into something which is more controllable, like getting into a fight with the person who triggered the rage attack, basically. So the idea is to step back, recognize the early life trauma and the core myth as originating the rage attack, and being aware when somebody looks disparaging, discouraging, criticizing, controlling, and be thinking that this can trigger me into a feeling of an early life trauma. I better watch out, because a rage attack often comes out of it. Now, the rage attack is triggered, like I said, by somebody who is hostile, demeaning, disparaging. But if, say, for example, your core myth is underneath it all and basically a failure, then the trigger point is going to be around failure, and the person who's disparaging you is going to make you feel like a failure. That's his agenda. So that's the trigger point. He's going to say, oh, you can't do anything right. So that will be the trigger, lands on your core myth, goes to the flashback, the feelings from the early life trauma come, and then you have a rage attack to deflect the feelings which leave you to feel out of control. If you don't deflect them, that's a rage attack. Now you've got to be able to see this whole process before it happens if you're going to be successful. No longer having the rage attack. It's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of work. Anybody who plays basketball knows they have to do a layup shot 1,000 times before they can master that particular move, or do a foul shot 2,000 times if they're going to be successful at doing foul shots. So be persistent, work at it, and that rage attack will eventually disseminate. If you do the practice work, your brain actually has to reconstruct itself. And I'm going to talk about some issues of the neurochemistry next, which are really astounding.